with theastrologyaddiction.com, and thank you so much for watching. Today I'm going to be doing a video on Ariana Grande and Mac Miller's relationship and their astrology, the connections that they, the connection they had, maybe why it was more intense, why they wanted to be together for, the period of time that they were together for, and maybe how they had affected each other during the relationship. So this was a requested video, so thank you guys for watching, requesting videos from me, subscribing, commenting. I love your guys' feedback. So I'm going to be looking at Ariana Grande's chart first. Now, she is a Capricorn rising, and she has her moon in the sign of Libra, and then her sun is in Cancer. So she is a very cardinal girl. She makes things happen. She is not afraid to go out and get what she wants, go after things in the world. Cardinal signs are Cancer, Libra, Capricorn, and Aries. So any cardinal sign, if you have strong cardinal planets, you're going to have a need to, you wake up in the morning, you make your plan of what you're going to do, and nothing is going to stop you to make it happen. So she's that kind of a girl, and her Neptune and Uranus are also conjunct in Capricorn to her ascendant at 20 degrees. They're all literally conjunct together. So that's very, very powerful. She has a way of kind of hypnotizing the crowd, hypnotizing her viewers, coming across in a way that is unique, never before really has been done. She says things kind of off the top of her head, but she is introspective as well with that Cancer placement. She has her Mercury in Cancer and her Sun in Cancer, so she is very emotional. The way she projects herself might be powerful and mesmerizing, beautiful, Hollywood, and strong. With that Capricorn, people are kind of even probably intimidated by her when they first meet her because of her unique beauty, talent, and just her presence is kind of alluring. So, but she's really actually very sensitive with the Cancer sun. Her sun is square to her moon in Libra, which is also conjunct to Jupiter. So she has sun square Jupiter, sun square the moon. Now, she can definitely have high expectations for herself and for others. She can probably get an inflated ego at times and have to kind of check herself, check her emotions, make sure she's not blurting out, her emotions. If someone attacks her or she feels like she's not safe or secure, she could feel very, like get on the defensive and want to even fight for what she believes in, or for, I guess, human rights as well, for the underdog. Now, when you look at Mac Miller's chart, you notice that his moon is in Cancer as well at 24 degrees. So this is a connection that you see a lot with relationships. Usually it's not something that's like a need or very necessary. So if you don't have this with someone you're dating, or potential person that you're looking to date, it's not a big deal. But you often find people with the same sun and moon sign, like the woman will have the sun in this sign and the man will have the moon in that sign, or vice versa. Just those personal connections, because their connection is just, they understand each other on a basic level, right? So her Cancer behaviors and her communication and how she thinks and how she talks, he really can nurture that. He can understand that. His emotions are very guarded and kind of in a shell as well. His Cancer moon is someone who is very moody, very, very needs their time alone, needs their space, needs their distance from people. And especially if they're not being understood, or if they're not feeling just safe with people that they're with, they won't express emotions. They will keep things bottled up. They will go into hiding. They will deal with their emotions in maybe unhealthy ways. And so she could really probably understand him and, got where he was coming from, got his emotions. And of course, men look for, emotional security in their partners a lot of the time, because it feels good to have someone, for a man in this world. Emotions aren't something that they can just go out and be like, I'm emotional, so expressing that with a woman, very, very good aspect to have, especially in Cancer. So right away they have that connection. Now you see that his ascendant is in Aquarius, which is a really, really unique person, someone that maybe not everyone understands when they meet right away. He's probably a person who has had, difficulty fitting in, maybe even, or being understood. And, she definitely has some of that as well, because her Uranus and Neptune, they are all in Capricorn, conjunct to her ascendant. So that Uranian Aquarius energy that he just is and people see right away, she also has that quality in a sense. Now his is a little bit more with Saturn, his Saturn's in Aquarius, so he is a little more older and mature, but also has probably had to fight a little bit harder than her to get through struggles and personal issues, and even has had to work really hard. Not to say that she hasn't had to work hard or anything like that, but she maybe had an easier time in the public eye than he has, or even just being expressing herself in a way that people received. So that being said, his Mercury, his Sun, his Mars, they are all in Capricorn as well. So that's another strong connection. If you have planets that are touching someone's ascendant like that, her ascendant is at Capricorn at 20 degrees. His Sun is at 28 Capricorn. His Mercury is at 13 Capricorn. Mars is at 7 Capricorn. He also has his Uranus and Neptune in Capricorn. Most people of the generation do. So his North Node's in Capricorn, also 9 degrees. He has a lot of contacts there. A lot of times with those partnerships, you see someone like him who has this cluster of planets in one place, definitely finding themselves in relationships with people who also have strong, Capricorn energy. His North Node there shows that getting where he wants to go in life, building structures, building solid foundations to achieve his goals has probably been something that he's, it's been a challenge for him to find himself and to probably express himself a little bit, but it hasn't been as hard to achieve that success, right? He has some other things in his chart that show some challenge, of course, but building success in this lifetime, he's meant to do that. So they have that connection together. They have that ease of just making things happen in the world. That earthly energy where you can culminate things and make things happen, right? He also has his Venus in Sagittarius. Her Venus is actually in Taurus. So she does have Venus opposite Pluto. A Venus in Taurus, she probably feels really happy and is drawn towards beautiful things, making her life really comfortable, fuzzy blankets, having her hair in a way that's comfortable for her, being around friends and people who, have the luxuries of life, who have money, who have things that just make life more beautiful and more fun. Whereas he, doesn't have really any planets in Taurus, but his Sagittarius in Venus, Venus in Sagittarius, he has a need for love that is very romanticized. His vision of love and of his perfect partner is probably extravagant, and maybe she meant a lot of those things for him, being that she is very Capricorn, very alluring, very emotionally safe for him. So he has this grand vision, this over-the-top idea of what love is, and his sexual partner, and I think she probably met a lot of those needs that he had. Mars in Capricorn, he's probably pretty she had a Mars in Virgo. They were probably pretty sexually compatible because that's a trine. Her Mars is at 9 Virgo, his Mars is at 7 Capricorn. So both earth signs. That means that if you have your Mars in the same modality, earth sign, water sign, etc., you're going to have a good physical connection because you both like the same sort of movements. Your dance can kind of go in sync. Your the way that you get mad or the way that you exert your sexual energy, they're very similar. So Capricorns kind of like to dominate and take over and make people do things probably, and Virgos like to be a little more submissive. They do like to have that dominant role at times, but they like to be more submissive and servant-like, and you know, they also just really like to be physically touching. They like to be in the moment, and Earth sign Mars loves to just be physically connected. So now when we look at her moon sign in Libra, he does not have any planets in Libra. So I think maybe he probably didn't understand her emotions as much as she understood his emotions. And she has very extravagant, over the top emotional needs. She has a really need to please people for social interaction, you know, to do things in the way that society kind of tells us to do things. She's a rebel, of course, but she has certain social behaviors and cues and, you know, emotional responses that are more just regular, and he doesn't really have too much of that. His probably way of being and emotional, you know, needs were more selfish, and he probably couldn't understand, you know, what she actually needed to feel safe and to be secure in a relationship and in a partnership. And, you know, also being that her Venus is in Taurus, it's just not super connected with his other planets, besides being trine, you know, to his Capricorn placements. She probably initially wasn't super attracted to him for any type of you just look at someone and you're like, he's so hot. She probably was like, okay, he's Mac Miller, you know, he's this powerful person and this creative, you know, wonderful like friend. She probably saw him as a good friend, and then maybe it built and grew on that, you know, and went from there. But I don't see it as being like a long-term attraction at all, on her end at least. His end, yes, but her end, no. So her North Node is also in Sagittarius at 11 degrees, so that's very close to his midheaven and his Venus. And so again, that's just a connection that we see a lot with partnerships, those North Node contacts, because it is where you really receive things in this world. It's where you receive people, physical things, just where you receive, and where you're really always hungry for more. So they probably had a really good connection spiritually, and that was probably something that was important for their relationship. So I hope you guys like this quick little reading on their relationship. Hopefully it made some sense as to, you know, their friendship, their bond, and the type of relationship that they may have had. Rest in peace, Mac Miller, and I hope you guys have a great day. Please see my link below to book readings. Also download the iStar Horoscope app, where you can find me to also book. My email is also in the description box, so if you have any questions, let me know. Have a great day. Bye.